What's up, to viewers? Welcome back. My name is Pax, and I'm here to react. So if you see in my face, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to leave my colorful commentary on Dave Chappelle. Life and Wealth Beyond has done a segment on Dave Chappelle where they talk about his wealth and how he's able to live as an ordinary man in the humble state of Ohio. Now, over the years, Dave Chappelle has been a very controversial figure. He has caused numerous media firestorms. There was a narrative created in the media about him when he walked away from reportedly a $50 million contract and went to South Africa. So we're going to go over here to Life and Wealth Beyond, and we're going to check out this segment and see what they have to say. And I'm going to leave my colorful commentary along the way. So I wanted to just see how he was able to regain control of the narrative and ultimately continue to bring us comedy, because obviously Dave Chappelle is, some would argue the best sketch comedian ever, and overall one of the best comedians to ever grace us with his comedic talent. So let's get to this content and see what he got to say and how he felt about this entire situation.
I would go to work on the show and I felt awful every day, he revealed. I felt like some kind of prostitute or something. If I feel so bad, why keep on showing up to this place? I'm going to Africa. To analyze why Chappelle now chooses to live a quiet, unremarkable life in rural Ohio, despite his massive wealth, we must look at the historical trap set for black entertainers in Hollywood.
Wow.
Time and time again, the industry has offered massive payouts in exchange for creative control, shaping black artists into safe, marketable stereotypes rather than allowing them their authentic voice.
So right there, we see that he wanted to keep and maintain his creative control, and be able to give us his art, and not turn over all of his creative control and ultimately his voice and his art to a corporation. He didn't want to get bought out. He didn't want to sell out.
Reflecting on the disturbing fates of other stars who buckled under the pressure, Chappelle mused,
"What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, 'They are trying to kill me'?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows."
Chappelle looked at the road ahead and saw the cautionary tales of his idols and peers. He saw the luxury path walked by Eddie Murphy, isolated in a Beverly Hills compound filled with Rolls Royces. He remembered Richard Pryor, who had the world at his feet but spiraled under the immense pressure of excess. Even observing modern money machines like Kevin Hart, who must continuously fly private jets and flaunt multi-million-dollar watches just to feed the brand, Dave realized that this brand of success was actually a gilded cage. It takes an incredibly strong person to walk away from the apex of fame.
What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat, because I never really looked at it from that perspective, to get all of this fame and fortune and wealth, notoriety, and then basically like they referred to with Eddie Murphy, another juggernaut of the industry, one of the greats, top three for sure. He's isolated. Yeah, he's got the Rolls Royce and the mansion and all the money and the women and everything. He even went platinum. Shout out to Eddie Murphy. But he was isolated. He talked about Richard Pryor. These are greats, icons, and they're all alone with their money.
By rejecting the $50 million, Chappelle chose to escape a sick system before it could break him. ultimately buying back his freedom and setting the stage to enjoy his wealth, his mind, his art as a fiercely ordinary, authentic man. As a result, Chappelle retreated to Yellow Springs, Ohio, rather than purchasing a 40,000-square-foot mansion overlooking the Hollywood sign. In Ohio, Dave gets to be a normal person, a husband, a father, and a neighbor living on quiet farmland with fresh air. He uses his millions not to build monuments to his own ego, but to protect his community, buying up local real estate to prevent big corporations from turning his beloved town into an unrecognizable profit machine. He shows up at city council meetings to passionately debate housing developments, and hours later, he is just another familiar face laughing with locals at a street fair. By choosing this low-key lifestyle, Dave protects his peace and sends a defiant message to the entertainment industry. He proves that true wealth isn't about luxury, it's about autonomy. Observers note the profound result of this choice.
I would say Chappelle. Chappelle's probably the most successful guy that's genuinely happy.
Wow. So he took back not only control of the narrative, not only full creative control of his brand and his art, but he also took back control of his identity, where he's able to live peacefully among the people and contribute to the community. He's not just saying that he's giving back. He's not his investment into his community is not self-serving. It's serving the greater good of the community, which is powerful, impactful.
The ultimate power of this man does not lie in a fleet of supercars or a sprawling, luxurious mansion. Instead, his power is rooted in the quiet audacity of a man who is ready to flip the table at any given moment, against any opponent, even the local government of his own hometown.
You look like clowns.
Right.
I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
Do not let his low-key, farmer-like aesthetic fool you. For an entire decade, one of the greatest comedic minds of our generation was practically a ghost in Hollywood. Instead of chasing the spotlight, he was living quietly, dropping into a Seattle park just to perform free impromptu stand-up, purely for the love of the craft.
And that's a fact. He did that just not too long ago, about a month ago. He was here in Seattle and went out impromptu, meaning just on a whim, and did a full performance in the park for the people, free of charge, just spontaneously. Shout out to Dave Chappelle, man. You are truly one of us, man. One of the people, man. We love you, man.
But this wasn't the end of his story. It was the setup for the greatest mic drop comeback in entertainment history. As one commentator perfectly nailed it.
He's somebody who sacrificed everything for what was important to him.
Yes.
Came back and then still beat the game.
Wow.
That 10-year vanishing act wasn't a surrender. It was a masterclass in recalibration. When Dave finally decided it was time to grace our screens again, he wasn't asking for a seat at the table. He owned the table.
Right.
Why? Because the man had already stared down a $50 million check and walked away.
Let me know in the chat, man. Could y'all do that? Could you walk away at the height of your career being offered $50 million to maintain creative control, to recalibrate your character, and to control your own narrative? Or would you sell out? $50 million is a lot of money. So y'all let me know in the chat. What would you do? Would you try to maintain your 100% creative control? Or would you sell out for the money and take the $50 million check?
He held every single ounce of leverage. In 2016, Netflix dropped a bombshell announcing a staggering deal that handed Dave $60 million for 3 comedy specials. That equates to a cool $20 million per hour of talking.
Nice.
That is roughly $330,000 for every single minute he stood on stage.
Every single minute. Look at that, y'all. $330,000 a minute. Is that get back? Did he get the last laugh?
By adding later specials to the roster, including 2023's The Dreamer, his total Netflix bankroll swelled well past the $80 million mark. But make no mistake, Netflix wasn't doing Dave a solid. They were desperate.
Right.
Deep in the trenches of the streaming wars, Netflix needed a heavy hitter, a raw, unfiltered voice that could slice right through the digital noise. Dave brought a unicorn-level value that simply couldn't be cloned.
Unicorn.
Earning himself a contract with 0 notes, 0 censorship, and 100% creative
Wow.
freedom. He secures his $100 million bag by peddling the uncomfortable truth, dissecting racism, police brutality, and media hypocrisy, all while disarming you with a laugh. Today, a new Chappelle special isn't just content. It's a full-blown cultural earthquake packed with fierce debate, fiery backlash, and eye-watering viewership numbers.
So not only did he get his get back on the industry, but he made all of the money that he walked away from and then some, probably triple that by my estimates and calculations. But nonetheless, he faces all of the controversy, all of the social and economical issues within his community and also on a national level that he decides that he wants to speak about. He remains the ability to do so because he has 100% creative control to this day. So, you know, he's able to confront things like police brutality. He's able to confront things like racism, you know, and he's able to be himself among the people.
Just look at the Titans, Sticks and Stones, and The Closer. These specials didn't just weather intense media firestorms, they absolutely dominated the charts for weeks. The secret to his invincibility as comedian Roy Wood Jr. laid it out when discussing the comedian's streaming controversy.
The things that Dave Chappelle chooses to joke about bring Netflix profit. Dave Chappelle will always have a home at Netflix.
Right.
He forged himself into an utterly irreplaceable, one-of-one icon by drawing a line in the sand.
Right.
I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Awesome.
Society constantly feeds us the same tired lie. Success means fame, hoarding cash, and being a perpetual yes man as the zeros multiply. But when Dave walked away, he wasn't crazy. He was a warrior, fiercely protecting his soul. As one colleague brilliantly observed,
Dave is not afraid to stand in the fire, address the climate, the temperature of the climate, and the context in how he's being perceived and how he wants to be perceived.
Dave Chappelle proved that ultimate power isn't a bloated bank account. It's the absolute, unshakable right to reject.
That's a fact. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Not only did he take back all of his creative control, not only did he make back all of the money that he reportedly walked away from, but he was able to control his identity and the way that he is perceived by the masses, and he is able to set a standard for future artists moving forward that they don't have to give in. You know, they don't have to sell out if that's how they were being made to feel, and they don't have to give away control of their art, of their voice. So, you know, yes, he was very controversial, but the fact that he's able to use his art to confront huge topics like police brutality and racism, you know, the fact that he did not become a yes man to the industry and give over control of his voice and his art and his talents, that says a lot, you know, that under the pressure of $50 million. So shout out to Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Life and Wealth Beyond for bringing us the content. My name is Pax, and I'm just here to speak these facts. Until next time, man, go out and do something positive, be inspired, or be an inspiration to someone else. I'm out of here.